Good morning, student. Myself, Alok Brave from Ambuja Public School, Rabdiabas. Today I am going to bring another video on the chapter of rural development. So, straight away I come to the point of, my teaching, right, my video, right. See, you can see this video on also my channel, right, Alok Economics Academy, and you will get a better idea there, right. See, rural development is continuous and comprehensive socio-economic development of all the villages in an economy. My dear student, it is a continuous and comprehensive. Continuous means continuously, right? Continuously, but my dear student, continuously as well as my dear student, then completely, right? Complete socio-economic changes in the village should be occurred. That is called rural development, right? It improves all the social aspect of rural life. It improves all the social aspect of rural life, my dear student. See, it improves. Now, it improves all the social and all the social aspect of rural life. Now see, in this chapter we will discuss about three main things. Now we will discuss about three main things, that is, about the credit and marketing facilities for rural people, diversification of agriculture activities, and organic farming and its significance in sustainable development. Three important tools we have, right? Three important things we have to study, right? They are very important. So my dear student, so first of all I will like to start from the process of rural development. So my dear student, process of rural development, is depend on 5-6 things which I have written below my topic. So these are the sub-point which I will discuss with you, right? The development of human resources is the first main point here. So the quality of human resource need to be improved through following measures: proper attention to literacy, especially on female literacy, education and skills development, better health facilities for the physical growth, then second, development of infrastructure, improvement in electricity, irrigation, credit, marketing and transport facilities, including construction of villages, roads, feeders, right? Feeders road to nearby highways. Better facilities for agriculture, research and extension and information dissemination. Third point is land reforms, elimination of exploitation in land relation, right? Land to the tiller formula should be there, right? Sealing of land should be there, right? Consolidation of land holding should be there, right? It will improve the socio-economic condition of rural people, definitely. It will improve the socio-economic condition of rural people, definitely. It will help to increase the agriculture production also, and we will to remove the poverty in the villages. So then the next point is alleviation of poverty. You can say removal of poverty, or you can say end of poverty, whatever you want to like to say, right? See, so at least 30% people are still very poor in India. If you want to remove completely poverty from our country, then what we have to do? We have to come to we have to remove the poverty from the villages first. Right, see. So, there is a serious need for taking serious steps for alleviation of poverty and bringing significant improvement in living condition of weaker section. Now, then development of productive resources. We should try to develop the productive resources, in the villages. Right? We should innovate. We should innovate new methods of production. Alright, we should discover new invention so that we can bring the development in the production of resources more and more in the villages. Then we have another topic, that is rural credit. So, my dear student, farmer also require rural credit. Why farmer requires rural credit? They require rural credit because of following reasons. Number first, my dear student, rural credit means, we will discuss some reasons, but I would like to discuss with some meaning of this topic. Rural credit means borrowing of funds by farmer living in villages. Borrowing of funds by farmer living in villages. So, my dear student, those people who are living in the villages are farmers, maybe landless workers if they are not farmers. Right? See, my dear student, they require money. They are poor people. Right? So, in agriculture, farmer requires strongly, right, credit need. Strong credit need required by the farmers in rural area, in those who are doing the agriculture production. Right, because there are various reasons. Number first, the reason is that they require due to the natural calamities. Natural calamity is another problem, most important. Pest attack, flood, sometimes drought, right, occurs. So these are the reasons. Sometimes they were not able to sow the next crop without the financial help of the banks and private financiers. So we have two sources of rural credit, right? The first source of rural credit is institutional source, right? Then second is non-institutional source of credit. Now let us discuss first the institutional source of credit. It includes all banks and cooperative societies. Then non-institutional sources of credit includes private financiers like money lenders, traders, landlords, friends, relatives, etc. Private banks, right? So these are. So the institutional sources of credit includes cooperative societies, land development bank, commercial bank, right, regional rural banks, right, the government, the national bank for NABARD, we can call it NABARD, self-help group, right. So non-institutional forces include, sources include money lenders, relatives, friends, traders and commission agent, rich landlord, etc. They come in this category. So, my dear student, let us discuss about the money lenders, private non-institutional sources first. I will discuss non-institutional forces first, because the reason is that non-institutional type of sources includes all the private people. They may be money lenders, friends, relative, traders and commission agent, rich landlords, right, big farmers also. These farmers, my dear student, are charging very, very high rate of interest, or you can say money lenders, friends or relatives, they charge very high rate of interest. So, my dear, generally, but they pay the amount demanded by the borrower very quickly, right? They will tell him to bring the property papers. They will mortgage their property and lend them the money, right? So very simple and fast and quick process they follow, right? So that is why still 50-60% of the credit market is captured by them. Before independence, 70%, 70 to 80% market was captured by these, money lenders. But now, after independence, after the education increase in education literacy rate, farmers stop going to these private financier, and they are going to the institutional sources of credit. So my dear student, so we find here institutional credit means cooperative credit, land development banks, commercial credit, regional rural bank, government, NABARD, self-help group, these are. So they give loan from 1 year to or maybe for very long period. So these institutions, their method is little lengthy. They takes time. They take 1 week or so, maybe 3 days, 4 days. But their rate of interest is very, very less, and they also, gave subsidies to the farmer on return of the interest or on return of the loan amount with interest at proper time. So they also provide subsidies, right? As per the order of the government, the rate of the interest is also very low in comparison to private financer. I think that it is 10 times less than the private financer. So my dear student, this is the most important thing, that when we compare the loan of the both from institutional sources or from non-institutional rate of interest, then we find that farmers will remain in benefit if he will go to the institutional source of credit facilities. If he will go to the institutional source of credit facilities to avail credit facilities from there, then he will be in benefit. So, my dear student, this is the most important thing which we should remember. The credit facilities are given by the best credit facilities are given by the institutional source of rural credit, right? These people, institutions are giving loan from 6 months to like 25 years, and money private financer cannot give loan for such a long period. Remember this, right? See, they want very quick payment of their loan. Then we have the last point to discuss: critical appraisal of rural banking. Then, if we discuss about the critical appraisal of rural banking, so my dear student, I reach to one point here, that is, my dear student, insufficiency. I will say the first one. Where I will criticize it, I will say insufficiency. Right? See, the credit facilities available to rural people are very less. They are insufficient in the country still. Still, after independence of 72 years, they are still less. Right? So they should be increased more and more in order to develop and in order to provide, farmers more credit. Then we have to develop these, institutions more and more in the villages. Even in the remote areas, there should be bank or any branch of the bank, may be small, but there should be. Then less coverage by the institutional sources. The coverage of the loan, less coverage. The coverage of the loan requirement is very less. That is inadequate. I will say inadequate coverage of institutional loan. Right? See, So this is another problem, right? They do not cover properly all the requirements of the rural areas, people, workers or farmers. So still there is a lot of progress required here. Then formalities. Then there are one more most important, problematic point is that formalities. It requires lots of formalities, and because the farmers are uneducated, illiterate, and they do not know how to write and read, so they were not able to avail these facilities, credit facilities from the institutional source of credit. So that is the another reason. It delays because sometimes farmer require very urgent overnight money. So what to do? They go to the private financer, and they remain in the trap of the private financer once they were trapped. Right? Less attention to poor farmers. The other problem is that less attention to poor farmers. So that is the another problem. There is a less attention. These institutions pay less attention to poor farmers, and they are paying more attention to the rich farmers, and they are sanctioning them more money in comparison to poor farmers, because they know that they are able to pay the money, and they have doubt that poor farmer cannot pay the money back on proper time. So that is why they hitch to lend them money. Then next is growing overdues. Growing overdues means, my dear student, the loans sanctioned by institutions, are not able to be recovered by the banks. That is the another problem. So that is why they are not able to grow. Right? So their overdues are increasing, NPA is increasing, right? Because farmers are not able to pay the return the money back to the banks. So that is the another problem. So my dear student, that is the major issue of the, my growing overdues. Partial amount sanction. Then the other problem is that amount is partially sanctioned by the government. And the bank. So partial amount sanctioned by the bank is another major problem. That is why, my dear student, it is very difficult for the rural banking and for the institutional, I will say, institutional source of credit to, exist in the adverse circumstances, because, amounts are, overdues are increasing, becoming higher, and farmers are not able to return the money because of the sometimes excess rain, flood, pest attack, right, natural, calamities are the main cause. So these are some problems which I found here. So we can say, to improve the situation, what we can do, banks need to change their approach from just being lender to building up relationship with the borrower. Now bank has to change their philosophy, method. They have become friends or relation. They have to establish a relation with the rural area rather than becoming the lender. Right? They have to build relation as a relationship with the customer. Right. Farmers should also be encouraged to inculcate the habit of saving and efficient utilization of financial resources. It is the duty of the bank to encourage these people to save the money for the future. So that is the most important thing. If bank will be able to successful in doing this, then they will not have any overdues in the future. Thank you. God bless you.